So it's time for game week two. The Premier League is up and running already. Everything is happening fast. We're in game week two already, and it's going to be another interesting week. But first off, before we go straight into our predictions for this round, Victor, what were your results from last time? How did they go? Your picks?
Yeah, okay. So my goal scorers and my outrights, everything landed, but apart from that, not much. As I mentioned last week, it's really an unenviable task predicting match day one. It's as tough as it gets, and
Yeah.
no player is at 100% when the first ball is kicked. That's just a fact. And yeah, am I a bit disappointed that Chaka booking did not land? Sure, but it was on one of the bold picks. It was a proper long shot, so I'm not too fussed about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for myself as well, I got three out of my four goal scorer picks. Palmer of all people, Palmer of all people did not get a goal, and just like you said, that is the unpredictability that comes with the first round. Chelsea
Yeah.
and Palace playing out a goalless draw. But anyways, moving on. I don't know if it's me or the Premier League itself is getting more difficult because every weekend seems difficult now these days. But anyways, what are your best straight win picks for round two?
So I'm going with Villa to win against Brentford. They're priced at exactly two. I know Villa haven't been very impressive against Newcastle, okay, but Brentford really should not be much of a challenge after this summer of great change. And Forest, they've made short work of Brentford last week. I expect Villa here to do the same. I'm looking at Arsenal versus Leeds, and I'm not picking Arsenal on an outright. I'm picking Arsenal on a minus 1.5 Asian handicap, 1.77. Leeds have looked great against Everton, but with all due respect, it was Everton. Arsenal are a different proposition. I do expect Arteta to let the hounds loose a little bit in this one, just to counteract the flack that they kept getting after the way they performed against United. And the third one is Fulham v United. I'm going here with something that Max is going to hate me for. Double chance of draw or Fulham. 170. I'm not throwing shade at United, but Fulham have looked good in preseason. I expect them to do their thing again this campaign. Make a lot of the bigger teams stumble and then stumble themselves against other mid-table sides and lower.
Fair enough. That's pretty interesting. For me, I'm going with Chelsea v West Ham. I think Chelsea played out a goalless draw against Palace, but they were still the better side and they were just unable to convert in front of goal. I think they will have it easier, with all due respect, against West Ham.
Yeah.
And I'm also going with Aston Villa v Brentford. Just like you said, Brentford are going to struggle a lot this season, and I think Villa would be able to, get one over. And I'm also going with Sunderland once again to win because just a season ago, Sunderland v Burnley would easily count as a championship fixture. So, but now it is a Premier League fixture. So I think Sunderland still have the momentum going from their first win, and they'll be able to probably, strike out a win once again. And on the final note, I'm going with Arsenal v Leeds for all the reasons that you mentioned. Arsenal are expected to win this one, no excuses. And moving on to the goal market, what are your best over and under 2.5 picks, Victor?
Yeah, Newcastle, Liverpool. Historically, it lands a lot of goals, so over 2.5 here for 1.53. Sure, Newcastle are as blunt as it gets, but Liverpool have enough quality to score three just on their own. Meanwhile, defensively, Liverpool, they've been shaky. They haven't kept a clean sheet since before they secured the title last season. And I think that includes their friendly games over the summer, so I just expect over 2.5 here. City v Spurs, over 2.5 as well at 1.44. Both sides very top heavy. They like to focus on attacking football, and it shows. I think 3 goals here is the bare minimum. If you're feeling cocky, you can go with over 3.5, but I'm sticking with 2.5. And Bournemouth versus Wolves, not over, but under 2.5 at 2.10. It's a bit on the longer side, this one, I know, but I don't expect fireworks here, and I don't think anyone does. Even with so much of Bournemouth's defensive structure gone over the summer, Wolves are seriously struggling in attack, so I just don't see 3 landing in this one.
Yeah, fair
Cut.
enough. And yeah. For me, I'm also going with City v Spurs. I think that game is going to be end to end, although City might win, but yeah, there will be goals in that game. I'm also going with Arsenal v Leeds. Arsenal are more attacking minded at home, and I think it's against Leeds. They want to perform after that showing against United. And then on the third one, I'm going with Newcastle v Liverpool. I think that game is going to bring a lot of explosive fireworks, in my opinion. And then on the final note, Brentford v Villa. Yeah, we expect Villa to win, but I still think Brentford have something in them to cause problems in any regard. So yeah. Uh, and moving on to the player to score tips, Victor.
Yeah, this is the match day where the script would have seen Isak score against Newcastle, right? But yeah, let's see. Here goes nothing. Arsenal v Leeds. I'm taking Gyökeres at 1.72. I knew you were going to approve of this. I know it's early as hell to say this about a new player in the division, but Gyökeres really needs a goal here. I think he looked outright bad against United, and now that they're facing a newly promoted side who are not exactly famous for their defensive work either, I think if he doesn't score here, he's better off not going on social media for a while. The whole Arsenal team will obviously be working for the win, but I think one of the main objectives will also be to get their new striker on the score sheet. Maybe even Saka lets him take a spot kick if they get one. So yeah, Gyökeres. I'm also picking João Pedro to score for Chelsea against West Ham. It's at 2.40. There are no fewer than 5 Chelsea players priced at under 3 to score against West Ham because, let's face it, who's going to keep them out, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going with Pedro here because he's the more combative and competitive one in that attacking unit. Liam Delap strikes me as the nice lad, you know. Also, I'm taking Brentford v Villa for Ollie Watkins to score. Now, this one's priced at 220, and it surprised me a little bit. I was expecting it to be lower because he surely loves playing Brentford. He has 5 goals in the last 4 games against them, and all nicely spread out. He hasn't blanked against Brentford. I back him to do the same here.
Yeah, fair enough. And for me, my player to score tips, I'm going with Haaland against Spurs. I think he has a good record against Spurs, and with all due respect, Spurs might be good or might be better attacking wise, but their defense still usually looks a bit suspect, occasionally. Then I'm also going with Semenyo, not just because he scored twice against Liverpool, but watching him the way he plays, he's always a threat. He's someone that can make things happen anytime. So I'm going with Semenyo. I'm also going with Gyökeres here because I think this time around, Arsenal will literally play for him, in quote. After that game against United, Arsenal would play more, suitable football for him, and there should be no excuse this time around, just like Victor put it. And then on a final note, I'm going with the journeyman, Chris Wood. I still think he has it in him once again to do another 10 to 15 goals this season. And I'm just backing him to score against Palace because I think he can. And moving on, Victor, best same game tips.
Yeah, I've got a 3-liner for City v Spurs. BTTS 1.57, over 0.5 shots on target from Tijani Reinders, also 1.57, and something short for safety, over 0.5 fouls by Christian Romero. That's 1.16. It takes us up to a nice 2.85 overall.
Fair enough. And just on a final note, any bold opportunity to take advantage of?
Yeah, this is where I'm picking Wood to score as well. I'm putting it as a bold opportunity because I feel like it's overpriced. It's at 3.25, if you can believe that.
Wow.
He's got 2 goals in the last 3 head-to-heads against Palace. He's shown on match day one he's just picking up where he left off last season, and I think it's definitely worth a punt, especially at these long odds. And the other bold pick is Everton v Brighton. I'm backing over 1.5 goals for Everton here. It's at 2.75. I think Everton will be desperate to start with a positive result at their new home ground. And sure, Brighton are a great team. Don't get me wrong, I admire them. But I think there's potential here for the hosts to get at least two. Especially if Moyes gives Grealish a start. He's a man with a point to prove. The whole team has a point to prove, and I think that can get them over the line here.
Yeah, fair enough. And I don't know. I think I'm going with the same bold opportunity again. I remember last time I was like Sunderland could easily score 2 goals, and then I'm still going with that same one again because it's Burnley. I think Sunderland can still score 2 goals once again, especially on the road, and that's well above 2 odds. And my other one is just a hunch. There's no actual statistical backing, but
These are
given
fun.
everything no, given everything that has happened between Newcastle and Liverpool off the pitch, I think there will be a red card in that game. I think there will be tempers. I think there will be tempers. There will be rash tackles, Joe Linton and the likes, Guimarães, everyone just throwing in a very, very, rough tackles and stuff like that. I think there could be a red card in that game, in my opinion. Liverpool versus Newcastle, and I'm going to take a punt on that. Yeah. Anyways, that's all we have for our prediction videos. I mean, it's getting more evident that the Premier League is getting tougher because now to even make predictions are becoming very, very, mathematical. You need to calculate, you need to be sure, you need to be strategic, if you will say it. But regardless, we've done all our homework, we've given you our predictions, and hopefully we'll see how they perform when we come in our next video.